Where did our Frontier Go Wild Pass take us the first full year of having the pass?
So we took a chance, took a gamble of getting the Go Wild Pass, and it took us to a lot of great destinations.
It took us to 3 countries, to 3 new international locations.
Which you wouldn't even think Frontier goes international,
Yeah.
but it does. It doesn't go to Canada, but it does go to Dominican Republic. It goes to
Costa Rica,
It
Mexico.
Goes to, yeah. We're Rich and Robin.
And these are our midlife adventures.
Living in and out of our midlife van.
If you don't know about the Go Wild Pass with unlimited flights with Frontier, check out this video linked above. Go back to our very first Go Wild experience.
So we wanted to take not a long trip, but we wanted to hit a couple different places. So we set off, and it was going to be a week.
Yep.
And we went up to...
Our first trip, we wanted to go to the East Coast.
Yeah.
So and it was May-ish. Yeah.
So we did a overnight layover in Philly.
Where we took the train into town and
checked
explored
out,
Philly.
Yeah, got a little more taste of it. We'd been there before. And then from there, we shot down to where?
Charleston,
South Carolina.
Spent a couple days there. We'd been there before, but wanted to go back.
But then we found out you can't really get from Charleston back up north again.
Right. It only goes back to Philly, and it only does that twice a week.
And we didn't want to wait that long,
Yeah.
so Robin came up with a great idea.
We took Amtrak.
Took Amtrak from Charleston to Savannah.
And then we spent a couple days there, and then took one of their twice a week
We
flights.
got lucky.
Back to Philly.
And spent a little more time in Philly.
Yeah.
That actually worked out really well. It wasn't just Philly.
Right.
And it wasn't just Savannah. It was, the nice combination of all
Philly,
three. Yeah.
Savannah, Charleston.
Yeah.
So that was May of 2023. Following month in June of 2023, Rich had this idea.
Crazy idea.
Where did he want to go for Father's Day? Where did we go?
Costa Rica.
We went to Costa Rica.
Why not? I mean, and it wasn't only, $14 or $15. It was, I think it turned out to be a little bit more.
I think it was $150 maybe.
For a round trip?
More around, per each way, I think, per person.
I thought that was like 90.
But we'll put
that down there. But so it wasn't the normal Go Wild fares, but it was still greatly reduced.
It's not just the international fees that they charge.
Yeah, there's
but
tourism
some of the
tax.
countries charge an exit tourist tax, and so I think it was like $75.
But we wanted to go cheap, and so we, got our flights. But then we're like, okay, what are we gonna do? Hotels or not?
Right.
It's like
because it's expensive in Costa Rica.
It is very expensive, and so we decided to, instead of getting a hotel, let's get a Overlander. So we actually picked up a Jimny that had a 4x4 that has a pop-up tent on the roof. And where was that from? Escape?
Nomad America. And they had all the supplies you needed for cooking.
Yeah, it had
water.
So it had pillows and blankets and everything you needed to be able to stay.
So we were in Costa Rica and had a great adventure. You should check out that video.
Yes, check out that video.
And then on our way back, of course, so international flights, you can book 10 days in advance.
Mm-hmm.
Our flight back into the U.S. through Atlanta, but we didn't have a connecting flight after Atlanta for some reason.
Yeah, okay.
I can't remember now.
Okay.
So we flew in, we left Costa Rica through Atlanta, but then since it was going to be Father's Day right after we got back, we kind of went separate directions. From Atlanta, I flew to Northern California to see my dad for Father's Day. Yep. You flew south to see your kids for Father's Day. And then we came back in separate directions. It was just a great
But it's
last
nice to have
idea.
that option.
Yeah.
And normally you would have to, try to plan that in advance and try to figure out, okay, now what flights are available. It was just like a last minute idea, and we were able to execute it because of Frontier Go Wild.
So July, we spent almost the whole month in Europe cruising.
Yeah.
Frontier doesn't go to?
No, they don't. Not yet.
But then when we got back, we had another cruise with family to Alaska.
So we used
Frontier for flights for Seattle. And then in September, we had a great idea. They fly from California to Denver every morning and back every night. So we flew out on a weekend.
Our son lives in Colorado Springs.
Yeah.
So we flew out in the morning.
6 a.m.
He came and picked us up.
Yep.
We went out and explored Denver with them. and then
we spent 12 hours with them, and then they dropped us off,
and we came back. So a no-nighter.
Yeah, that was a great experience. And then the end of September, where's the other place you wanted to go?
Let's find another international destination. How about Dominican Republic?
Right.
So we went to Punta Cana.
And
where did we stay, Robin?
We used our Chase Sapphire rewards, our ultimate rewards with Chase.
Robin's been going crazy with credit cards and making the deals, and what was it? It was all inclusive.
All inclusive.
We've never been to an all inclusive place.
We spent $0 transferring points from our Chase Ultimate Rewards to Hyatt and booked the Secrets Cap Cana.
Beautiful
that video is coming up, so check out that one. It's amazing.
So nice, yeah.
Yeah. And then in October, we flew to Hawaii.
No,
unfortunately,
Frontier not yet.
But we had some great cheap tickets on Hawaiian Airlines that we saw from a Fair Drop ad, so that was great. January, we flew to Cancun for the first time.
Yeah, so we've actually had a timeshare down there for the last 15 years, and we've been using those credits most of the time in Maui or Kauai. We might as well go check out our timeshare in Cancun, so we flew Frontier to Cancun, spent a week down there, and we actually really enjoyed it.
Yeah. So then from there, we actually flew to Baltimore because we were going on another cruise out of New York, but since Frontier flies nonstop from Cancun to Baltimore, we figured we'd go into Baltimore and then we could always take the train to New York.
Yeah.
But our friends, Sprint Slow, live in Baltimore, and so they invited us over,
for the night,
picked us up at the airport, we stayed at their place.
Dropped us off at Amtrak the next morning. It was great to reconnect with them.
So then we took a cruise to the Bahamas, and that was amazing out of New York.
Yeah.
We got back from that cruise. We got a last-minute offer to go on the brand new ship of Carnivals out of Galveston.
The Jubilee.
And we had to be in Houston in 2 days to get on that ship.
So we got the deal on Thursday.
Right.
And Saturday was going to be...
get on the ship.
They had to leave. So we booked a Frontier flight for Friday, spent the night in Houston, and then took an Uber, which is like, a half an hour, from there down to Galveston, jumped on the ship, and then took off.
So we got a last-minute almost free cruise with our last minute almost free flights, and it was an amazing trip.
Yeah, so lucky.
And then on our way back, leaving from the cruise, flying out of Houston, we did another layover in Denver to see our son. So that was great. That was February. So March and April, we were traveling in our camper van.
We were all over the place.
We were in Baja camping on the beach and cruising again. I went on and then when we got back, we went on a cruise from Norfolk, Virginia to Barcelona. So originally we were
check out that video. That'll come a little bit later. It'll be there.
Originally we were going to fly on Frontier because it was supposed to go out of Baltimore, but then the Baltimore Bridge collapsed.
Yeah,
they had to move everything, and so we ended up having to use our Southwest points. But that's what's great is we have a backup with Southwest points and the Southwest Companion Pass, so it didn't really hit us budget wise. So that was a great backup to our Frontier Go Wild Pass.
Yeah.
So that was our year of our Frontier Go Wild Pass.
So how many flights did we end up doing?
We did 30 flights.
Yeah, I think 31 flights. I think we did 31 flights a year.
3 countries in Frontier. The rest
all of that was on the cheap. I mean, so we've been finding deals and taking advantage of the deals. We've been,
using credit card points.
Exactly. So being flexible and everything. So it worked out really well. That was a great year. 2024 has been maybe even better, Robin.
So the Frontier Go Wild Pass did such a great job in 2023 through 2024. We bought it again
a no-brainer
for 2024 and 2025.
But it was even better when we renewed it. It was $100 cheaper than it was in 2023.
Yes, amazing. So if you want to see where the Frontier Go Wild Pass can take you in 2 weeks, check out our video. Subscribe to see where our 2024 Go Wild Pass takes us. Thanks for watching. Subscribe and like it.
And tell your friends. Adios.
Don't forget to check out our other videos with lots of budget-friendly tips.